So we're now going to perform offset parking. So you're going to go all the way up to the cone in the front. You're going to stop. Then you're going to turn your wheel all the way to the left. You're going to look in your top right mirror, and you're going to look for the 4 cones in the center. Once you can see all 4 of the cones in the center, you're going to turn your steering wheel 2 times to put your tires straight. Then you're going to back the bus up, and you're going to put this first cone in the center inside the rear tire. Now once you feel that the cone is inside the tire, you're going to stop. You're going to secure your bus. Then you're going to come outside and take a look. So, dead center. Perfect. After you come outside to take a look, you're going to go back in, close your door. You're going to turn the steering wheel all the way to the right. Then you're going to look in your top right mirror, and you're going to make the side of the bus parallel with the cones in the center. And then after that, you'll turn your steering wheel 2 times, and then you'll back the bus up straight. You're going to keep looking in both top mirrors to make sure that you don't hit any cone on either side. Then, once you finish, you're going to secure your bus. You're going to beep your horn to let the inspector know that you're finished. A straight back. Now we're going to perform offset parking. So we're going to go all the way up to the front where you see that cone is all the way up ahead. Then we're going to back up our bus and park it in the next lane over. Okay. So again, as we move forward, we're going to look on both sides of our mirrors to make sure that we're in the middle of the cones. Okay, we're going to go all the way up to this cone in the front. And once we can see it in our crossover mirror, and we can stop, we're going to put the bus in reverse. Now, if you look in the bottom left mirror, you can see 2 sets of cones to the left of us. You can see 2 sets of cones to the left of us. So, you're going to get the middle cones, that's on the left side, in the top right mirror. So you're going to turn your steering wheel all the way to the left. Okay, and you're going to look in the top right mirror. You're going to go slow until you get all 4 of the middle cones in the top mirror. So there's 2. There's 3, and there's 4. Once you see the 4th cone, you're going to stop. Now you're going to turn your steering wheel 2 times, back the other way. 1, 2. Now the tires are straight. And you're going to back up and use your bottom side view mirror on the right side. And you're going to match the rear tire with the first cone. Or you get the first cone inside the rear tire. If that helps, you understand. So you're going to go slow. Okay, and then once you feel that the rear tire is inside, then you're going to secure your bus. Then you're going to open your door and you're going to go outside to check. outside to check. As long as the cone is inside the tire, you're good. So anywhere inside the tire that the cone is, you're good to move to the next step. Okay, so next we're going to put our bus back in reverse, push in the parking brake. We're going to turn the steering wheel all the way to the right. Okay, you're going to look in the top right side view mirror, and you're going to match the bus up and make it parallel with the cones in the middle on the right side. So you're going to go slow. Okay, then you're going to stop once the bus is parallel with the cones. Okay, now you're going to turn your steering wheel 2 times the other way to put the tires straight. Now you're going to look on both top mirrors and back up straight. So you're making sure that you're not going to hit any cones. Now once you pass the first set of cones, and you can see them in front of you, then you're going to secure your bus, and you're going to beep your horn to let the inspector know you finished. Okay, so we're now going to perform parallel parking. The back of the bus has to pass the first set of cones. That's the first step. Once the back of the bus has passed the first set of cones, then you're going to back your bus up and you're going to put this cone right here in the front left inside the rear tire. Once you feel that the cone is inside the tire, then you're going to stop, secure your bus, and then come outside and take a look. Okay. So as long as the cone is inside the tire, you're good to proceed. Okay. After that, you're going to go back in your bus, put your seatbelt on, then you're going to turn your steering wheel all the way to the right. You're going to back your bus up, and you're going to look for the 3 cones here in the back, in your top left mirror. Once you can see the 3rd set of cones, you're going to stop. You're going to turn your steering wheel 2 times to put the tires straight. Then you're going to back the bus up, and you're going to put this first cone here in the front inside the bottom corner glass. Once it's inside the bottom corner glass in the middle, then you're going to turn your wheel all the way to the left. You're going to look in your right crossover mirror to make sure you don't hit this cone. And after that, you're going to then use your top left mirror to make the bus parallel with this cone here. Once you feel that the bus is parallel with this cone here on the left, then you're going to secure your bus, and then you're going to beep your horn to let the inspector know that you finished. So let's take a look. So there's space in the back of the bus. Cones over here. Okay, looks good. Now let's go towards the front and take a look. Okay, the adequate space also here in the front. Adequate spacing, and last but not least, let's make sure the bus is inside the cones. And looks good to me. This is good parking. Alright, so now we're going to do parallel parking. So the back of the bus has to pass this first 3 sets of cones over here in front of us. Okay, so we're going to move forward. You're going to try to keep the bus parallel with the first set of cones. I'll show you in a second what I mean. As you're doing that, of course, the back of the bus has to pass cones, okay? So if you look in the top mirror, you can see that the bus is parallel with those first 2 cones. And the back of the bus is also past the first set of cones. Now we're going to put the bus in reverse. And we're going to back up and put the rear tire inside the first cone. Or put the first cone inside the rear tire. So you're going to use your bottom side view mirror. Okay, and once your rear tire is inside the first cone, or the first cone is inside the rear tire, you're going to secure your bus, you're going to open your door, and go outside to check. As long as the cone is inside the tire, you're good. But my students, of course, like to try to get it in the center for bragging rights. Alright. So the next step that we're going to do, put our bus back in reverse, push the parking brake in. We're going to turn the steering wheel all the way to the right. And now we're going to look in the top left mirror, and we're going to be looking for the 3 cones in the back. So we're going to go slow. Okay, there's 1. There's 2. And there's 3. Once you see the 3rd cone, you're going to stop. Now you're going to turn your steering wheel 2 times back the other way to put the tires straight. And you're going to keep backing up, and you're going to put the first cone inside this bottom corner glass in the middle. Here comes the cone. So I'm going to stop once it's in the middle, right there. Okay, now I'm going to turn the steering wheel all the way to the left. Okay, I'm going to look in my right crossover mirror to make sure that the bus clears that first cone. Now once it clears the first cone, now if you look in the bottom side of your mirror, you can see 2 cones on the left. So the last cone on the left is the one that I'm going to make the bus parallel with. You're going to use the top mirror. Okay. So I'm going to keep backing up until the back of the bus is parallel with first cone. Once it's parallel with the last cone on the left, I'm going to stop. I'm going to turn my steering wheel 2 times to put the tires straight. I'm going to secure my bus. And then I'll beep my horn to let the inspector know that I have finished. So now, let's go outside and check to see how we did. Okay, so looking over space in front of the bus. Over here, as you can see, the bus is inside the cones. And coming to the back of the bus, there's plenty of space back here too. Plenty of space over here as well. So this is good parking. Alright, and that completes our straight back, offset parking, and parallel parking.